Hi friends, I'm Prairie Vintage. My name's Linda. I'm an energy intuitive reader here on YouTube. I use spirits, my intuition, the tarot to communicate energies to you guys amazing viewers. I am so blessed to be here today and that you are here. Whether you are new to this channel or you are returning, I do hope the messages resonate for you today. Now, I do want to mention a few things in regards to this reading and most of my readings here. If you want to get straight away to picking your pile, I will put the timestamp in the description box below before I get into it, although we do have the 3 picks ready to go. I wanted to make mention that when I'm channeling and doing a reading, that the messages are coming through from the divine, okay? And so although I am reading the cards and using the interpretations that are given to the cards, the intuition is being pulled from the divine, and so I always lean into my intuition over traditional meanings of the cards. Sometimes messages come through downloads, words, visuals, that sort of thing, and of course if I can't make out what it is that I'm hearing or seeing, it could be difficult to translate or communicate what that is. Although it, when we're channeling, those of you guys who do readings and channeling know that it is just kind of flowing through you. You're just an open channel. So it really doesn't matter whether I understand fully what is being communicated. In fact, I don't recall a lot of my readings until I watch it back. Okay, and that's because I'm in the channeling state. And so what this means is that this isn't Linda's advice or guidance. Okay, so if you go watch tarot readings, you know, obviously it depends if that reader is authentic or really channeling something other than just kind of reading definitions and cards and is open to their intuition to communicate what's coming through. But if you are in tune with tarot and are obviously watching these for a reason, then you do believe that this information is coming from another source like the divine. So if you feel as though you are getting advice from that reader, then I think that's not a good way to sort of connect, only because that reader could be a friend giving advice, having a YouTube channel that is solely giving their own personal opinion and their guidance. Okay, so I'm only saying this because sometimes I'll read comments that say I am giving advice, or the information that I'm providing is sort of like it's coming from me in some way, and it isn't. So I just wanted to make it very clear. Although I wish I could take the credit for some of this sage advice, it doesn't always completely make sense to me at the time of the reading. And then, of course, when I watch it back, the truth is always resonating for me. And so these messages help me as much as they help you, which is why I enjoy doing these readings. But I don't want to take any credit for this being passed off as my guidance or advice, because I don't have this information sitting within me, you know, blatantly here to give my opinion. And so although maybe, you know, you're intending on it being a very beautiful comment to give me a compliment, I am just channeling what it is that's pulling through here. So I'd love to take the credit, but this is certainly coming from divine source, the information that's pulled through here. Okay, so if you watch readings, then of course you can learn to trust that there is a greater source higher than ourselves. And of course I wouldn't be using any tarot or anything here if I could just deliver advice, and that's exactly what I do. And my channel would have absolutely nothing to do with, you know, with tarot and using any sort of divination here to communicate what it is you're needing to hear. So in saying all of that, this information is very blessed, very sacred, coming from the divine. Of course, I do my best to not interfere with my own opinion. If I do give an opinion, it's going to be communicated as such. And of course, it's coming through my eyes, but I am not delivering and projecting what it is that I'm seeing so much as an open channel to communicate to the information that's coming through the divine here. Okay. And of course, it might be encoded using my own language, and therefore some of you guys might resonate with the way I encode that information in the English language. Okay. But I'm not sort of sitting on this information and turning it into something that I'm connecting back to a personal experience or something I'm willing it to be in any sort of way. Okay, I hope this makes sense to you guys, and I don't know why I felt the need to say this, but this is information that I am trusting coming from greater source, and I'm very blessed to be doing your reading here today. So you guys are all very safe. Welcome in this space today. We're doing a pick a card looking at your exact situation and what it is that you can sort of do here in order to get through, overcome. So we're looking at step by step, exact steps you can take to get through your challenging situation, or you're feeling either stuck or not sure what to do or how to do it. Okay, and where we won't be looking so much into the situation at hand, unless of course it needs to pull through for context, but more so we're looking at what you can do, exact steps to pull yourself through, navigate through, or what you need to do, if anything at all, to get you to get to the other side, or to find peace, or to liberate yourself, or achieve or accomplish whatever it is that's going on in your life. And like I mentioned, this is supposed to be in regards to a situation that you find challenging, it's stuck, maybe you're just stressed over this or having a lot of anxiety, or have been stuck for some time wanting to find sort of a way out or through. If you don't have any challenging situation right now, this might not be your reading. Okay, not every single reading I do here is going to have a message for you. I realize I do a lot of readings and they stay on YouTube for some time. They're all timeless, so at some point it may be irrelevant to you whenever you come across it. But if you are here, you're here for a very specific reason, I do believe, and so you may find a message resonating for you. So if you're drawn to one or multiple piles, that means Spirit has a communication in there for you. Okay, and I do ask you to use your own intuition over mine, what you will see, feel, or hear to determine whether the messaging is right for you, and only you can do this. Okay, so we have 3 options to choose from for pile number 1. We have the 3 of Sacred Circles, which is 3 of Pentacles. We'll pull a charm for each of these as well. 3 of Sacred Circles. Okay. And here we have the Wheel of Fortune for option number 2. For option number 3, we have the 6 of Staves or Staves, which is the 6 of Wands. All right, wow. Interesting energy pulling through all 3 of these. I'll pull a charm for each as well. For option 1, the 3 of Sacred Circles, 3 Pentacles, we have this cat, looks like a Cheshire cat. Golden cat, you guys can see that. My cat is in the vet. It's been there for a few days. All right, Wheel of Fortune. Pile number 2, you guys got the koala. Koala bear. Option number 3. You guys have, it looks like an electric guitar. An electric guitar. The Six of Staves. Six of Wands. Where should we put that? Let's put that right there. Okay, I'm going to move the box. Pile 1, Three of Sacred Circles. Pile 2, the Wheel of Fortune. Pile 3, Six of Staves. And the timestamp will be in the description box and the pinned comment below. I will see you at your pick. Hello, hello, beautiful. Pile number 1. You guys picked the Three of Sacred Circles. Just 3 pentacles and the golden Cheshire cat charm for your pick. And we're looking at how to navigate your challenging situation. Step-by-step guidance as to what you're supposed to do, how you're supposed to navigate, whether you should do anything at all or what steps you should take. All right, so use your intuition, what you will see, feel, or hear to determine whether this messaging is right for you. I have pre-shuffled oracle cards, which I have not looked at, and we're going to get into what it is that Spirit is guiding you to do in this situation. Now, of course, this is guidance. This isn't what you have to do, okay, or being ordered to do, so you could certainly use your free will to navigate however you see fit. But this reading is for those of you guys who feel like you're really stuck or torn or not quite sure what it is that you're supposed to be doing and wanting divine guidance here to help you sort through your thoughts, okay? So it's interesting with this card. Initially, I saw an elephant, although when I'm looking at this, is definitely not an elephant, and it was as clear as day, the elephant I was seeing. Which is tying back to a couple of readings ago. We were getting a lot of elephants here, so you might have resonated with that pile. Not for all of you guys, of course, but also yesterday's reading, we're seeing a bunch of white animals, okay? And now I'm seeing white animals again, a polar bear here, and this looks like a white crow in the cloud. So in the white polar bear, or the clouded polar bear, we see a person, like a person's silhouette here. And so the white is always about purity, you know, and purity is our authentic self and our consciousness, tying back to an authentic, true place of authenticity within ourselves. Okay, but it's coming through as these animals. Crow is all about communication. And I don't know necessarily that this is a crow or some sort of eagle about to land. So now to me it's looking like an eagle or a hawk about to land, about to hunt. So I feel like for this group with the Three of Sacred Circles, I feel as though we're dealing with something, your situation here, something that you really don't want to screw up. Like, I feel like this is something really sacred to you, like meaning a lot to you. It's almost like nature's handed you some divine gift, is what I feel. And so you're trying to understand when it is that you can take action to sort of attain what you're supposed to attain here, but something about precision. So maybe you're concerned with when you should act, if you should act at all, when you should take action. And because these little huts are here, kind of look like igloos, but they're made of sticks here, not a complete snow. It's like we're waiting, you know, waiting. We feel like we we might be quite alone here waiting. It feels quite barren in the snow, although we are protected in some way. It feels quite cold and quite barren, and the Three Pentacles is coming together with another, or to align with someone, something, to create something. But I feel as though you're here on your own, waiting, so I feel like for now maybe you're making do with where you're at, but I don't think you could sustain yourself like this for much longer, because you're going to have to go out and hunt, or at least have some sort of sustenance in order for you to keep moving here. You can't just stay in your hut. And the cat is one that wanders from home. If it's an outdoor cat, it sort of goes exploring and then kind of comes home again. But the cat might not last very long in this sort of environment here. But the cat's natural instinct is to want to go outside. It can't stay in here. So I feel like there's a conflicting energy here of you really instinctually desiring to take action. Like you have to sort of take action in something here. Like you have to hunt, or you have to eat, you have to, the cat's instinct is to go out there. But at the same time, the environment is cold. It might not feel like the right time. You're not quite sure how to take the step, if the timing is right. And yeah, you're not quite sure. Okay, so that's interesting energy. Let's pull the oracles, see what we have. There's quite a bit, so you can skip on the timestamp, which I'll put below. It'll take you directly to the channeling as I go through these cards. Although if you are strengthening your intuition, you might want to sit through this. And like I say, use your intuition, what you will see, feel, or hear, to determine whether the messaging sits right with you as we lay these out. So we have Divine Companion. Wowzers. Divine Companion. That's like a divinely guided relationship. That's like someone heavenly sent in your world here, but you feeling alone. You feeling alone. Okay. Isolation, you feeling alone. And look, only self. So I was hearing before this reading, I forget the exact words. It was really loud, though. It was like no one there, or pulling through alone, or it felt like a very lonely sort of energy, or at least you felt like no one was there. You had to get through on your own. And so now we have isolation here with this tuxedo. And the story and the guidebook here is the person buys this beautiful suit here, and it is something they intend on wearing but never quite get around to enjoying the new suit, because it's never either the right time, or it just sort of keeps hanging there unworn, until this person can either no longer fit into it, or it just becomes outdated, or it's kind of like not taking advantage of what's there while it's there. And then we have a little tag here that says invitation. Isolation. Okay. We have the Gambler, loss and risks. All four of the suits here. I'm getting Magician energy, Virgo, and Gemini, as well as Aquarius energy with Fool. Surrender, obsessive thinking. If you're obsessing about a person or a situation, turn the dilemma over to Spirit. Doing so will help bring you clarity or even solve the problem. There's definitely a person here. Definitely we're wanting to work with another. So maybe we're putting a lot of weight on this creation with another. To be fair, 38, or the number 11, and 11 is a divine master number, all about synchronicities and the encouragement to keep going. Also about divine inspiration here. To be fair, and we have the owl sitting on her head. I'm getting Libra energy here from the scales. One side has a fortune cookie, the other one has an egg. She's wearing this white dress, which again is pure consciousness. And we have number 4, caterpillar with opportunity. 4 is all about stability and structure, foundation, and planning. Caterpillar, and look at how the cat is highlighted here. Cats are very magical creatures. Caterpillar. Okay. Angel of Love, 49. Wow. Angel of Love. And community. I'm getting 4 wands from this energy. All these beautiful butterflies. So we have 9 butterflies here. Butterflies all about freedom and transformation. Caterpillar turns into the butterfly. We have sun, source energy, masculine energy. Leo energy could represent ego, being empowered, passion, 34, or the number 7. It says the frequency of passion reminds us that beneath every intense emotion lies the hidden gem of insight, balance, and calm. It assists us in finding the balance within this intensity, moving us from chaos to the calm of its core, where we can let its long-lasting wisdom fill us up. Okay. We have anti-hero, maverick, risk taker, and rule breaker. And look, we have here risks. Number 18 or the number 9. Anti-hero. We have serenity. The most important relationship you can have is with yourself. This is a time to honor, nurture, and love yourself more by seeking out and removing any negative feelings and emotions that are left over from yesterday. Don't let past issues and resentments interfere with your serenity today. Okay. We have existence, shooting star. We have emerging, beautiful. We have helmet, guardedness, isolation, and self-protection. So isolation coming through again. I'm going to put that right here. Hopefully you guys can see that. No, you can't. Move that here. Guardedness, isolation, and self-protection. Okay. Self-protection. Wombat spirit, be at home. Home. Not liking our home here, I feel. Or at least we're not seeing what we're supposed to be seeing in our home. 68. Yes. And here we have the balance. Masculine, feminine energy coming through. Libra energy. Yes. Okay. Optimism. Well, that lines up with yes. And we have consciousness. Number 1 coming through with the sun and with consciousness. And all the white I was getting with her dress and the animals is certainly about purity of consciousness. Here she's wearing a yellow, which is all about the confidence, solar plexus energy, and she's surrounded by this fruit, an archway. Optimism, certainly yes. And we have the mother. Oh my goodness. So now we have the father and the mother. Number 1 and number 1 here. Complete different oracle pack. And the mother is depicted here as a nest here with all these eggs. And there's a pearl here in the center. The mother. Fertility. Divine feminine energy. The feminine masculine we were feeling. Divine companion we were seeing. Attention. Pay attention. You're being asked to pay extra close attention to the signs you're being given, both of the subtle ones and the ones that can't be missed. These signs will help you see how to best move forward in order to live your best life. Okay. Pile 1. I feel as though your issue or your challenge feels very intense. Very, very, very intense. Like you're needing to create something and make something happen here. But you're feeling very alone. You can't make something happen if the thing, the person, the situation isn't available or around. Makes sense to me. But that doesn't erase how you're feeling. And so what Spirit is saying is that although this intensity is there, it is there for you to figure out a way of how to navigate that feeling, that emotion, in such a way that isn't turning it into anxiety, obsessive thinking, or using it in a way that isn't helping you. You're supposed to transmute this energy that you're feeling authentically. And I say authentically because it is a true feeling, but it isn't your pure consciousness that feels this way. Because if your pure consciousness is always at peace with serenity, it always feels at home. It doesn't feel anxious. It is not obsessive. It is not needing anxiously to make anything happen. It never feels like it's at a loss. It always feels whole. It never feels isolated or alone. It always feels complete. And so what's happening here in your situation is this feeling of needing to either come together with someone here. Okay, you guys could certainly, like I say, I read for a lot of twin flames, be feeling pulled from your divine counterpart or needing to have the other person, thing come together with you. And it feels like it's out of your control, out of your reach. And this is divinely orchestrated here. And a reason for this is for you to learn to turn your energy that is coming from egoic places, from past conditioning and beliefs, that is creating an uneasiness, a panic, an obsessive thinking, and an uncertainty, and a need to do something or we might be alone or miss out. And what Spirit is saying is that none of this is true. That the pure consciousness here is at peace without anyone or anything sort of needing to come together or to make something happen here. And so this doesn't mean that you're never going to be coming together to create something. What this means is Spirit wants you to tap back into your pure consciousness, your existence, raw, without ego. And this might take time because we can't lie to self and say, oh, okay, now I'm at ease. But we have to be very aware when we are stuck in patterns of a way of thinking that is habitual, because we will forever sort of stay attached to that energy of the panic, of feeling alone. So when the feeling of aloneness comes in, we have to recognize it. And although we might feel like we're lying to ourselves at first initially, we have to know and trust the divine that we aren't alone. And so when the thought comes up, I feel alone, we take that thought and we say, okay, thank you, thought, for coming up. But I know the truth. And the truth is I'm a pure, whole, conscious being that doesn't need someone or something in order to make me feel whole and fulfilled. In order for me to feel blessed, I could be blessed right now in this moment and feel at peace without having to take action, without having to attain someone or something here, without anything else than what's currently in front of me. I don't need to feel loss. I don't need to feel like I have to sacrifice any piece of me or do anything here. I could just be myself, and I can allow the universe to unfold exactly as it is in front of me. And here I have to find true peace and true love with the moment in front of me, with the people in front of me. And so as we do this, every time the obsessive thought comes, or a desire to attain something outside of the present moment that we think is going to bring us fulfillment, every time we start to feel alone or like we're missing out, or our intense passion is pulling us towards something we feel we need to fulfill, and passion is great, but learning how to find the balance. Okay, learning how to find the balance within us so that we can sit in a more whole, serene place here and know that the universe will bring forward to us what it is that it's supposed to bring forward. So yes, you are on a guided path here, I feel, okay, towards what it is you want. And so I feel like you can feel it. But this is something that is being brought in from the divine. It's not something that you, pile one, are having to create or make or do special or have to do anything here in order to sacrifice or yeah, like you just have to sort of sit with the energy that the universe is giving to you and recognize when it makes us feel contracted, which is any negative emotion, sadness, anger, loneliness, resentment, jealousy, anything that makes us feel low energy, contracting energy, we're supposed to check that thought. Check that thought, because our feelings are really a reflection of what's going on in our mind and our thoughts. And so, although we can't control our thoughts so much, we can observe and know when the thought is coming from programming and when the thought isn't healthy, and when there's a greater thought. And the greater thought understands that we are pure existence, that we are manifestors of what it is that we are supposed to be creating in front of us with the help of the universe here. But everything sort of has to be aligned for things to be created. We cannot sort of use our divine will here to go against the universe, to, you know, create something in our own ego's timing and our own ego's will. So it's not that the universe is trying to be unfair, but that this is happening for a specific reason, because I feel that there's a lesson to be learned here, so that you can recognize this going forward and utilize this sort of way of navigating in your life in all areas, and not to be pulled into egoic thoughts. Because I feel like the egoic thoughts make us act in certain ways here that aren't aligned with our pure, authentic self. So this is very layered, because I do feel there is a divine companion here, you know, and I feel like Spirit is saying, yes, be optimistic. Yes, you are walking into this great abundance here. You are on a journey here. So you're supposed to have confidence. You're not supposed to feel rejected or like you're not getting what you want. And so how do we remain confident, know that we're getting the abundance we want, but disconnect from the egoic thinking of how it happens and what we're supposed to be doing, and feeling almost like we're out of control when we can't take charge, or we can't create something, you know, when we're wanting to. So Spirit's saying all you need to do is be aware with consciousness and existence. You just need to exist. You need to remain positive here with the optimism and the yes. So very hopeful that whatever is meant for you will not pass you by. Whatever is meant for you is meant for you. Okay, and so I feel like what Spirit is saying is allow your natural, authentic self to do what it is that it needs to do in the moment without projecting to sort of your future desire of what you think needs to happen. Okay, and we might confuse our true authentic self with the self that feels this intense passion. And we might say, well, this is my authentic self of what I'm seeing, and I'm really wanting to create something here. And so what Spirit is saying is that if we're attached to that, it is stemming from ego. Because the pure, conscious, enlightened self is already whole. It does not need to attach to a certain idea, a certain thing, a certain person in order to be at peace and complete and happy and whole. So once we can completely detach, and I know this sounds counterproductive, but it is a lesson here in dropping egoic attachment to people and things naturally, and knowing how to transmute the noise, the obsessive thinking, the attachment. You know, having to create that relationship or create the thing that's going to make it happen for us. But in reality, Spirit is saying, allow everything and everyone right now to fall away. And even if you are alone, you don't need to be lonely. This is where you will find true peace and serenity. So there's a reason why you're sort of feeling isolated. There's a reason why your environment feels barren, or like there's no one around you. There's nothing to, it seems like the universe is playing some sort of trick here and keeping you isolated. Because no matter how much you want to build, create, or do something here, it's all barren and nothing's available. You know, like this is sort of what you want, and you're feeling kind of in the frozen here, not in the luscious greenery. And so I feel like you're ready to hunt and attack and create, feeling anxious or like there's some sort of action you're needing to take. And so the more we're leaning into that energy, the more we're creating the energy that we don't want. And we might not even be aware of it until we just can't take it anymore, because we've got to sit here until we figure it out. You know, and it's not that the universe wants to put us in isolation here to torture us, but it's to figure out the lesson of detaching from the ego, thinking we need other things and people and situations in order for us to be whole and complete. Knowing there's an opportunity, because there's always opportunity, you know, out there in the world for us to create, to nurture. And so there's another message coming through here that this divine partnership, union, creation that you feel very pulled to here is protected, is being nurtured. You are not wrong. This is something that is divinely guided here. Okay. But there's a need for you to be complete and whole and feel at home before anything can be created or developed here. And so I feel like you might feel discomfort and isolated here, you know, in your environment without the people, place, or thing that you feel is going to bring you some level of security. But that is something the ego believes, because once we attain that person, place, thing, it falls short. Okay, it falls short at some point. So it could fulfill us for an hour, for a month, for a day, for 10 years, for however long, but it's like a burn and turn sort of mentality when it comes to the ego, because it's never enough. And so what this whole lesson here of what you're going through is to be enough, to feel enough, to connect to enough without having to do anything at all. And so even when there is nothing around that is seemingly workable, there is still abundance to be had as long as we connect to the conscious self. We feel at home. We feel whole and complete. We don't feel like we're isolated in a way here that makes us feel like we're losing out or missing out. So in regards to what you're supposed to do in the journey itself or manifestation of creation here with the masculine, feminine, once you're in balance with your energy, once you tap into the transmuting of this egoic sort of need to drive something to this more balanced energy of masculine, feminine from within, because this is really a lesson of balancing your own internal energy, connecting to your conscious self, finding peace, you will be given signs, exact signs here, symbols, synchronicities through dreams, visions, whatever comes through as synchronicities. Because once we're balanced, we can see these signs more clearly, and so you're being asked to pay attention to these as to where to take action and what you're supposed to do, what you're supposed to create, how you're supposed to move forward. The doorway will open to you to this abundance. It won't be difficult. There won't be obstacles in front of you. There'll be a clear path of where you're supposed to go, and you'll know confidently what you're supposed to do, and it'll feel very abundant. It's not going to feel barren. Okay, and I feel like why it feels barren, why it feels cold, why it feels like you can't do anything is because you're being asked that you're not supposed to do anything. And the ego doesn't like to hear this. The ego feels frustration. The ego tries to resist this notion. It wants to attain, to support itself, to validate itself in a way to keep what it needs in order to stay alive. And so we snuff out the ego by sitting with the idea and the understanding that we are whole and complete without anything or anyone external validating or supporting or making us feel any sort of way aside from what we already come with, our pure existence here. And look at all these ones. Okay, so we have 3 ones, which is a new beginning. Okay, it's also potential opportunity. And so we have here opportunity coming through. So there is an opportunity. It doesn't mean that this opportunity leaves, you know, and so the ego might panic and think, if I don't act, if I don't have this now, I will miss out on this opportunity, or this thing will disappear, or it won't work out in some sort of way. But this opportunity exists. Okay, and I think this whole exercise is learning how to lay the foundation here, the stability we're needing in order to find balance. And so the owl talking about the wisdom and the experience. Okay, and we have the fortune cookie here, which I feel like the fortune is all this abundance that you're going to be attaining here. And I don't feel as though this is going to take a long time unless we don't learn, like truthfully and organically, how to transmute the anxiety and the obsessive thinking and the need and the desire to externally validate and have what we need. Once we release that authentically, truly, and organically, then I think everything sort of starts to come in play. So this is the true self emerging. The true self, the whole self, not the egoic self. Okay, so you might be sitting in an isolated little hut, no one around to help, feels like you are alone, you want to create, you want to take action, and you feel helpless and barren and like nothing or no one's coming around. And your animal instinct here, you know, is wanting to do what you feel it's wanting to do. And Spirit is saying, yes, you will be able to explore and entertain this beautiful opportunity that you're sensing here. But we need to recognize the other part of us, which has been constructed over time, which is that ego part. So, risk taker and risks. You might feel like you're in your mind, you might have a thought in your mind that you have to do something that would sacrifice or give up something or risk something in order to make headway, and Spirit is confirming you don't have to. You don't have to risk anything. There is no need to trade something off here. Okay, so put that out of your mind. Now, whatever you want is certainly going to happen with the yes and this optimism. This opportunity exists. This divinely guided opportunity is here for you. And with the angel of love, it's only manifested through love. And love has no timeline. Love has no conditions. Love comes from pure consciousness and existence. Any love outside of that is egoic, is driven from a need to attain, is driven from a matrix love, not an authentic love. Okay, and so we're learning about this, or we're having to acknowledge and sit with observing this, and not to beat ourselves up for the thoughts that come through, but just identify. Just observe when that thought comes through. Just observe our own emotions. Are we pegging our own happiness and fulfillment based on the thing coming together, based on who's around us and what we've created and how fast we can create or when we can attain? Because if that's the only time we are happy and whole, or believe that, then we're still an ego. So we're going to ask Spirit for clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile 1. Anything I've missed here? And what does pile 1 need to know here in this reading? Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile 1. Spirit, please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message. Thank you so, so much, pile 1, for allowing me to tap into your energy, the energy around you at this time. I am truly blessed and so glad to be here today. So, 10 of Wands, we can't take it anymore. And this is aligned with this passion. Okay, we feel very pulled by our passion. It's so intense. And so this is how this sort of experience goes, because something's going to give, you know. And so we sit here with the passion, very overwhelmed here, but yet the polar opposite here with this, the scenery, with this 3 sacred circles is like very barren. So Spirit wants to communicate to you why exactly this is sort of happening the way it's happening, is with all this passion. You know, there's come to a breaking point of us understanding our pure self here. And I feel like right now Spirit is showing that no matter what we sort of put in energetically with this 7 of Pentacles. Sorry, I'll read the cards here. We have the 7 of Spheres, which is 7 Pentacles, Knight of Cups, 5 of Wands, Ace of Swords, the Emperor in reverse, and the 8 of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, so Spirit is showing here with the 7 of Pentacles. This is where we're trying to create something, trying to bring in the harvest. We feel very frustrated because all of our efforts seem to turn up nothing solid. And so we feel like giving up. You know, we feel like giving up. It's like, how much more do I got to give and invest? And so I feel like with this 10 Wands, it's like we've been in some sort of environment where we're doing sort of all that we can, and we really are, but we have to sit with a greater truth with this Ace of Swords. We have to sit with a greater truth. And the great truth here is that there is a part of us that can connect with this Knight of Cups to something that we emotionally feel very connected to, and we need to and want to be able to express our love and our creative energy here, because this is how we engage in the world and show up. You know, we want to be able to do this, and we feel like we cannot, you know, no matter how much is going on here, we feel like our truest expression of being able to give love and create is stifled. And you're correct. It is in this environment because there's a lesson to be learned that you don't need to. You don't need to do anything here. Okay? Like, you don't have to take action to tap into love, to feel like you are the creator. There's nothing you need to create to prove to you that you are the creator. There's no one you need to love to say, I can love. Just know that you are love. Know that you are the creator. Know that this is already within you. There's no need to prove, attain, or hold on to any of this. So this is why you're not provided the accomplishment of attaining or achieving, or the thing that you're thinking is going to bring you the validation and confirmation. All it's going to bring to you is momentary relief, like it normally has in the past, which is feeding the ego until the ego says, I want more. I need more. I need more proof. I need more validation. I need more confirmation. I need more. Someone else. More from this person. Something else. And so it's great to want to create and to give love, but the lesson, again, is about we are love already just by existing. We are whole and complete without another, without anything at all. We don't need to do anything. We don't need to do anything. We don't need to create anything in order to know this and to connect with this. So now we find true serenity. And then we know the importance of creation, that we can choose to create when we want to, because it is beautiful to create, but we're not attached to it in order to bring us happiness. That's the greater truth. Okay, so I feel like right now we're really conflicted here with the 5 wands and the 10 wands. You know, this is a lot of energy sitting here, misdirected or undirected, or not being able to find an outlet. You know, and so we're conflicted, and we're probably going back and forth in our mind about what we're supposed to be doing and how we're supposed to be navigating, and Spirit saying, don't do anything. 8 Pentacles in reverse. There's nothing you need to do. There's nowhere you need to be. Be at home in the present moment and find peace there. Don't be anxious. Okay, easy to say, but when we truly experience this energetically and make peace with this, the true self emerges. The pure self emerges here, okay? And then the ego slowly sheds, and then the signs come through here, giving us an opportunity to create, to love, to build, to come together, to do all these things. And you might say, well, at that point, I don't want it. And it's not true. You'll still engage and want it. You're just not using that as a thing that's going to bring validation to the ego self. It isn't supporting or propping up the ego self. It's something coming from a pure place of love, a pure place of creation. You know, that you're choosing to create, but you're not attached to it in order to fulfill you or to bring you happiness. That can apply to anything, a relationship, your whatever you're attached to here in the matrix external world, okay? So this is what you're learning about. So what's the step-by-step thing? Stay in your cold hut, because I don't think you're going to have to stay there very long if you understand this concept. And it doesn't happen overnight, although it could, if you understand this concept of saying, I don't need to do anything. I don't need to attain anyone. I am okay as things are right now. It's unfolding exactly as it should. Everything meant for me is going to happen. I don't have to keep investing in something here and feeling bad that it's not manifesting. The only thing that needs to see something right here in front of me is the ego. And that part is an illusion. My pure self doesn't need to see anything. It's already whole and complete. It already has what it needs. It has what it needs. And so we say this, but we have to feel it. Okay, and we might feel lonely. We might feel a little disjointed as we start to explore this. But if this message resonates for you, I think you're divinely guided and protected to experience this and get there. You know, this isn't going to be foreign to you. You're going to get there. However you get there, because I think it's time you kind of get there. King of Pentacles in reverse. So yeah, we can't manifest the long-term thing here. You know, like we want to create, we have a vision of what the manifestation is here with the King of Pentacles that will bring us long-term happiness, stability, security with the 4. We want to build it. We're already sort of projecting into the future here of what's going to bring us this happiness of security. And Spirit is saying, don't peg yourself to future stability, security of what you want to build. Be in this present moment. And this should be enough. And it is enough, because you already have everything you need. There's nothing external more that you're needing. And I don't feel you're seeing this truth. I think the truth you think you see is the truth of an ego self that believes something. But the greater truth, which we know, because when we hear the truth, such as we are whole, we are pure consciousness, we know this to be a truth. Okay, but do we resonate with an understanding of that, like a true resonance here? Or do we understand that as a concept but haven't reached that sort of state of being just yet? Because if we need to reach that state of being, then this is why this is happening, okay? So this, to be fair, is sort of saying this is the lesson here in order for you to then graduate to the next level here of whatever you're needing to. This is like a soul lesson here. But your opportunity, your soul person, your thing is coming in. But now's not the time, specifically because this lesson needs to be fulfilled or lived out or understood. Okay, and then you'll be guided here. You're heavily protected. This opportunity is protected. This is the transformation. Remain hopeful with the rainbow here. Okay, remain hopeful, because it's easy to get very discouraged if it's not happening right here. But then that's the egoic. That's the obsessive thinking. That's the need to have something. You know, then we start to sort of bargain and try to, you know, take actions, risks, and things here that we don't need to do. Don't need to do any of this. Okay, so this is what I have. Beautiful pile one. This turned into an interesting reading as we peel back the layers. I hope this resonated for you. I love you very much, and I'll see you at the next one. Bye-bye. Hello, hello, beautiful, gorgeous angels. Pile number 2. You guys picked the Wheel of Fortune and the cute little koala bear as your charm. Before we get into the energy sitting here, what is this reading about? Well, we're looking at a challenging situation you have going on, and you're wanting a step-by-step sort of guidance on how to navigate through what you're supposed to do exactly to help you overcome this or achieve or attain what you're wanting and get through whatever this is. So if you're not in a challenging situation or feeling stuck or not quite sure where to go or in your mind about something or just really feeling like you're needing guidance, then this most likely is not your reading. So don't force anything to fit, because this is going to be for those who are truly looking to have some guidance. So I do ask you to use your intuition, what you will see, feel, or hear to determine whether the messaging is right for you. I have pre-shuffled oracle cards that I've not looked at, and this will give you an opportunity to tap into your intuition. If you are feeling you want to get straight away to your channeled reading, you can go ahead, click on the main reading, which I'll put in the timestamp below. So it's interesting, yesterday I did a reading, and this is sort of the imagery I was seeing, and I was calling it Saturn because Saturn has the rings here, although we see more planets with rings. So that's kind of interesting. Pile 1 also had the white animals, which I was also seeing, so that's kind of interesting how it's tying in, but not quite sure how so much. But with this energy of the Wheel of Fortune, I do feel this is something very big, because it is certainly all about fate and being guided. You know, this is the universe guiding us, and Saturn isn't always a pleasant energy, because sometimes Saturn could feel like no matter what we're sort of putting into and dedicating and sacrificing, we're sort of not quite yet attaining what we're wanting, and so we might feel like we've been invested in quite some time, potentially, in something that hasn't really manifested, or we know there's a manifestation that we're sort of geared to have, and we're having to sort of do whatever it takes here. I don't know where you are quite on this sort of path, but the Wheel of Fortune is about great abundance here. It is about great abundance because, you know, the Wheel of Fortune here is tied with Sagittarius and Pisces energy, and this is all about big blessings here. So, koala bear could certainly tie back to Australia. If you're Australian, it could be just a message here for a few of you guys, but I'm being taken back to my first time seeing a koala bear, you know, and all of this sort of information they give us in regards to how to handle it, because although it looks really cute, it's still could be quite dangerous, these koala bears and their claws. And I feel like you're it's sort of sitting with me like similar energy to pile one in a way, because I feel almost like you're trying to accomplish something or get through something that you feel divinely guided to do, but it feels very delicate and you don't want to sort of do the wrong thing or drop the ball here. So you're not quite sure, but I don't feel like, I mean, obviously you're here, so you haven't attained the wish or the thing here. And so I just feel like you've been on this for quite some time, like a long time now, you know? And so it's like, what more do I need to do to sort of foster this thing? Like, what do I need to do to foster this thing properly? Because I do feel it's been very long, and it's like not coming into fruition quite just yet. So Wheel of Fortune is about divine timing. And we hate to hear about divine timing because we don't know how long divine timing takes. I am getting for this group, it's just about time for something to turn here. And because it's been long enough, I feel. And I feel like you've been very tender. You've been supporting and growing whatever this is in the best way possible. And the best way possible for this thing to turn to manifest. So let's see. Wow, okay. We have facade with the yellow. Yellow is about the solar plexus. So I believe in the storybook, this is talking about our inner child, and like when we're on one sort of understanding or path, because we've been programmed to believe that's who we are and what we want for ourselves. And then when we're older, we sort of witness and see this facade or this energy of self that wasn't truly us, and we sort of can connect with our authentic self here. I feel like there's been a journey of connecting with the inner self, the inner child self, to really bond the two, like who you truly are here, in order for you to be confident on your path forward. I think you've done this. I feel like you have done this. We have the adventure, responsibility, and expectations. So here's the volcano erupting. Okay. We have the gateway. Oh my goodness, look at that. The gateway. We have surrender your need to always be right. Give others the gift of letting them be right, but be yielding, not rigid. This will help resolve conflicts and improve your relationships. And we have deep knowing, 43, or the number 7. Here we have the beautiful owl sitting on the moon. Lots of star energy coming through, and stars are Aquarius energy. We have all tied up, 23, or the number 5. All tied up. I'm going to have to be careful how I lay these out because there's a lot of cards here. Delight, beautiful chickadee, daffodils, and pink flowers. I'm not sure what the pink flowers are here. And we have antimony with number 27. The white wolf. And we have heart chakra, number 4. The frequency of heart chakra, the green flower of life, supports our capacity to love deeply and unconditionally. Its healing properties harmonize the mind and the body. If feeling a lot of connected from the facade in this antimony. It's like being on the path of authenticity, even if it's against the grain. Even if it's not aligning with other people's sort of expectations of us. Compassion, empathy, simpatico, and kindness, number 14. And we have intuitive nudges. Intuition is the language of the soul. We are all born aware with a profound sense of inner knowing. Intuition is one of the greatest gifts we possess, which keeps us connected to our higher selves, the universe, and to our divine spirit. Beautiful. We have silence, number 17. Beautiful moon here. Silence. And we have a 4th chakra with the heart center. You guys, oh my goodness. How amazing is that? Heart chakra. Okay, beautiful. Love it. We have doll, childhood play, and naivety. And I'm getting the inner child again with the doll here coming through. Okay, and then we have fox spirit, to think on your feet. 27, or the number 9. So we have a wolf and a fox here. And we have the scarab beetle spirit, magic works through you. 52, or the number 7. Okay. 7 was coming through here as well. So 7 is about faith, wisdom, reflection, and understanding. It's also chariot energy in the tarot, which is about forward movement. Balance. Magic works through you. We have peaceful resolution. We have family. And look at more children here with people. Number 2. 2 is all about balance, duality, and choices. Lots of children energy. We have the shadow, 28, or the number 10. The shadow. And we have pause. You're being asked to pause before making a quick decision and moving forward. Allow yourself to step back. Look at all the possible outcomes and make sure you're heading in the right direction before moving forward. That's about this Wheel of Fortune, about forward movement. I'm going to slide these over because I have one more card that I think we can probably fit at the end over here. And it's 59. A wailing tree, reconciliations. Okay, let me see if we can see. We can see. Okay. Let me sit with this energy, you guys, and see what comes through, okay? You can skip to your main reading. Okay, this is interesting because I don't know how much is going to be revealed. I will pull tarot, but I feel like the message here is about you have already done so much work on identifying what you're needing to identify at the point of in which you were supposed to identify about yourself and your authenticity. And I feel like there's been a lot of shadow work done, and specifically I feel like healing childhood sort of traumas or connecting to an inner child truth. You know, I feel like maybe if there's been difficulty with people in the past, that you've sort of found ways to reconcile this. Although it hasn't been easy so much, I feel like all this work on self has led to opening of the heart chakra. You really sort of understanding what unconditional love is and really tapping into this greater awareness, you know, like your intuition here with this deep knowing. You might be really in tune with your psychic abilities or your intuition. You might be going against a lot of sort of beliefs that you might have at one point had, or that your family sort of might have projected on you, or you carried at one point, because to you it's important to do sort of what feels more authentic, even if it's against other people's sort of expectations of you and your responsibility, quote unquote, of what others think you should be doing. And so I feel like your reason for what's driving you is coming from a very pure place here. Although I feel still like there's people around you, potentially, that might still be an ego, that might still not be there. And when I say there, it's like progressing on their soul journey here in a way that aligns with you. And so we might feel disjointed, held back by certain people or circumstances around us. And we want to remain pure and authentic and true and do things for all right reasons. And I feel you do. And I feel you're not quite completely happy here. And it's because these other people are where they're at in their journey. And Spirit is really showing here that continue to believe that what you are doing is coming from a very pure, genuine place. If it causes angst with others, although it might seem challenging to you in this moment, this is going to change. This is going to turn. You are in the precipice here with this gateway and what I was feeling here with the Wheel of Fortune. Things are going to turn. Okay, they are going to turn. I think you understood that if you continue to sort of walk this path, eventually things would turn and eventually you would find this happiness here. But I feel like it's taken quite some time to align here. You know, and so maybe at some point you're questioning, like, am I even then supposed to continue down this path of my authentic self? And even if this is causing maybe conflict with others, or my environment here isn't able to support or validate some of what's going on, you know, with myself here. And Spirit is saying, continue to believe in the authentic self here. Continue to shed the facade. Continue to support your truest self here. Do not get tangled up or tied to the challenge or the drama of other people. Okay? Try to silence those people or that situation as best you can, because things will be moving forward here for you. Okay, things will be moving forward here for you. And with this peaceful resolution and this reconciliations, I feel like if there are people here who are very challenging in your world, they will come to sort of see the light, or there's a way that peace will be restored and made here. And so, although we're looking for the step-by-step sort of instructions of what you're supposed to do, Spirit is kind of saying with this think on your feet and this antimony and this facade energy, and really what I'm picking up of the work that you've done and this intuitive nudging, it's almost like you have to play your situation by ear, and that the work you've done is enough for you to know the proper way of responding and reacting, and that's enough. There's nothing you're supposed to sort of know external from what you already know internally of how to respond. Because as long as it's coming from the heart place, and sometimes heart place doesn't mean that we are not wanting to hurt other people, so we say things to support their delusion or unhealthy things. True unconditional love is speaking the great truth in a loving, empathetic way. Even if this truth is painful to hear, but if we say it with compassion with empathy. We are speaking a great truth here that will sort of allow things to iron out. So we might get stuck in sometimes feeling as though the best thing that might be the right thing to do is to maybe play small again, or to say what someone else is expecting us to hear in that moment, because it feels maybe more comfortable or safe. But we know, because we've already learned the lesson, that no matter how difficult it is to talk the truth, that is the most loving thing we can do with the people in our life. And so I think you have a service to whatever's going on around you, whoever is going on in your world right now. And your greatest service to this person and the situation is to be your authentic self, to speak a greater truth, to allow your lessons of what you've experienced and uncovered, because it is a truthful experience and understanding of your purest conscious self here, to work through you, with this magic works through you. So you are an example to others, and it becomes very visible here to your situation, a greater truth here, so that it shifts the situation. So if we're tiptoeing, if we're not quite have complete buy-in with our own authentic energy here, we can't truly sort of shift the energy in this connection or this situation or with whoever we're involved with here, until we completely understand that our intention of doing and saying what we're doing and saying is aligned with the complete truth, an authentic way. Even if it's painful, it's coming from a very sort of empathetic place, full of compassion for another, but we want to share this truth, and this is the only thing that will shift this situation. So some of you guys might be hesitating or not saying anything at all, and sometimes it does make sense if you don't say anything at all. It sometimes does help if it's something that the other person is supposed to sort of learn on their own or figure on their own. But in this case, I feel like your silence is keeping up sort of a facade here, that you're supposed to come forward in your situation with this person or this situation, the circumstance, with the lessons you've learned and uncovered, by allowing yourself to be as responsive as you can be. Now, this doesn't mean react on ego, which I think you've already learned. This is being responsive to the situation, coming from a pure place of non-shadow and authenticity, a deeper knowing, okay, based on your experience, because I really feel you've done the work here, that you're intuitively guided towards what you're supposed to say and do. And you're supposed to be playing this by ear and trusting yourself, but don't play small, don't remain quiet, don't feel like this is coming from a place that's going to create pain and suffering. If it's coming from a loving place here, even if it's a difficult truth, it is the most loving, purest thing we can do. Okay, because I do feel like a situation here is going to shift. And I don't know who this is with, and it doesn't really matter so much as it could be your family or, whatever situation we're with here. But I feel like there is potentially conflict with them not seeing a greater truth and us sort of maybe letting them figure it out, or playing small, or staying quiet, or not quite, being the magical self that we can be here in this situation. But we can still be honest and, pure in our communication here, and allow things to sort of iron out here and help it along its way. But I feel like you're the key here to help things along its way. You know, and so you don't have to feel all stuck. You know, don't have to feel stuck with people who are not, you got the Emperor in reverse, Aries energy. People who might not be in the best energy. So Spirit, clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile number 2. What am I missing? What are they needing to know about this challenging situation in which they're supposed to be taking action? What exactly are they supposed to do here? We have the Page of Swords in reverse. What is pile 2 supposed to do step by step? Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile 2. Please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message. Thank you so much, pile 2, for allowing me to tap into your energy and the energy around you at this time. I'm so blessed. Thank you so much. And one more. Okay, the Magician. Virgo, Gemini energy. This is all about manifesting, divine timing, communication, having everything we need. Emperor in reverse. Could be about feeling not empowered. Page of Swords in reverse. Ace of Wands in reverse. Seven of Pentacles. Interesting, these two came out in pile 1. Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. And Judgment. Under the Magician, we have the King of Pentacles. So we have the Queen and the King of Pentacles. Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. And they're both in reverse. That is the family sort of card. That's the mother-father energy. So you might not be getting along here with someone in your world, you know, with the Queen and the King of Pentacles, someone very close to you, or your situation in which you're feeling quite tied to with the Pentacle realm here, you know, your home life, your work life, something that is very close to you here. And I feel like whoever you're involved with is an energy here that might not be as evolved potentially as you are, or not seeing as clearly as you are here, you know, a greater truth. And so I feel like you feel all tied up. And because when we're dealing with someone in shadow, someone who might not be quite there yet, we don't really know how to engage so much or what we're supposed to do. And so we want to remain authentic, and we don't want to be pulled into ego. And so sometimes we just sort of not to do anything at all. But Spirit is wanting you to come forward with a greater truth here with this Judgment, because it is stifling you from allowing things to move forward. You know, because I feel like you're being held back here due to you believing that someone else here might, I don't know, need to come into some understanding, or might need to do something before it's okay to move forward, or what have you. And Spirit is saying you can move forward. Things can turn right away here towards the better for you. And so if you're able to speak a great truth, speak a great truth. If you see a truth here that the other person isn't seeing or aware of, it is on you to communicate this. And it doesn't mean we have to convince the other person of our truth. It just means providing insight to someone here who might not see it so much. And I feel like you feel you're not empowered, but you're always empowered to do what it is that you can do here. You can contribute to the situation the best way you can. I don't feel you have, because of maybe you telling yourself, whatever it is you're telling yourself, that this person, you know, could come to some sort of understanding on their own, or that you don't have any ability here to make something happen. And it's quite the opposite here, because I do feel you feel stuck. I do feel you feel unempowered. I do feel like you don't know that you have everything it takes here to create what you're wanting. And I feel like you're wanting to move forward, you know, with this Ace of Wands. And so we don't want to wait here forever, butting heads or not seeing eye to eye or feeling stuck. So let's see. Let's get some exact steps and guidance here then for pile 2. Spirit, this message for pile 2. What is exact steps? What they can do, say. What is it that they're needing to know here? I'm going to take the one that revealed itself. So we have Judgment again. Perfect. Continuing right where we left off. A greater truth. Sitting and reflecting with everything that's happened up until now. That's the Karma card. Spirit, clear and concise message. What am I missing? Can we dive in deeper to the exact steps pile 2 is needing to take in their situation that has them feeling stuck? What can they do? What can they say? How can they handle the situation exactly for the best possible outcome here? 5 of Pentacles, the Ace of Swords, new beginning. Why is Judgment here? Ace of Wands in reverse again, so 2 new beginnings. Interesting, because we had the Ace of Wands in reverse right on top of the Judgment, and now it's flipped. Why is this 5 of Pentacles here, Spirit? We have, oops, High Priestess is falling in my lap in reverse. Pisces energy, that's this intuitive nudging. Not seeing something. Ace of Swords. Why is the Ace of Swords here? Exact steps for pile number 2. The Emperor again in reverse. Wow. And we have the Knight of Cups. And under the Knight of Cups, we have the Hermit, Virgo energy. Okay. So, the universe really, really trusts your understanding of yourself. And I think you probably do as well. But maybe in this situation, you might be forgetting or a little hesitant or not quite, or needing validation or confirmation here from Spirit that whatever it was that you've uncovered within self here, through the reflection, through the understanding, is correct. You know, you understand something correct. And although it's a surrender, you need to always be right. I feel like you are correct. But I feel like what this is saying is that I feel like you're shying away from being right and allowing someone else to sort of dictate, you know, the manifestation or whatever's happening around you, the creation around you, by not stepping forward and expressing yourself honestly and openly, by maybe remaining silent, waiting for, I don't know, this person to figure it out, feeling unempowered to do so. But I feel like you're feeling kind of stifled or held back, or not taking action on what you know, because I feel like you feel like potentially it could result in a 5 Pentacles, you know, and so you might feel there is a risk in speaking up, or a risk in taking action, or speaking a greater truth, that you'll be left out in the cold, or that this person might feel bad, or that the situation might go sideways. And so because you don't see this, you're not really trusting our intuition. We're saying, well, I'd rather just kind of see what happens here without me being sort of the person that's going to make it go sideways, or me being the person that's going to have to be the bad guy or do the thing here. Because we're not listening to the part of us that's saying, hey, pile 2, it's time to speak up and act on what we already see and know. Even if it's going to hurt this situation or this person in a way here that is coming from a loving place, but it will allow there to be a creation. It will allow you to get empowered. It will be the beginning of a great truth here. And the Ace of Swords is all about truth through adversity. And sometimes the adversity here is learning from a painful experience in which you're having to speak a truth or act on a greater truth. You know, and I feel like this great truth is coming from the heart place, which means it's coming from a very beautiful, loving place, no matter how difficult it may feel to express it or to take action on it, it's the right thing to do. Okay, and I don't feel you're doing this. And I feel you feel even more stuck. So you're supposed to speak, walk, and talk a great truth that you already know because you've already sat there reflecting. And so you feel a certain way. Express that. Express exactly how you feel. Take action on exactly something that's aligned on your authentic feeling and understanding. Even if it means 5 Pentacles, because this is where there will be a turn. Even if you don't see it today, even if you might feel hesitant and not empowered to do so. We saw the Magician, so you do have all the tools to make it happen. This should not be a situation that's holding you back of creating something, expressing something. And so all these messages here are showing you having to speak a greater truth and take action on a greater truth, because it is aligned and it is the thing that's going to help come to a peaceful resolution. So let's see for pile 2, final message. Anything I've missed? What does pile 2 need to know? Any questions they have that have not yet been answered? Final message. Any further guidance? Anything that I've missed? Any further questions pile 2 is needing to hear in regards to exact steps they can take in their current situation? Death in reverse, Scorpio energy. Justice, Libra energy. 4 of Cups in reverse. Why is death here, Spirit, in reverse? 7 Wands in reverse. Hierophant, Taurus energy. And finally, why is this 4 of Cups here in reverse? 3 of Wands in reverse, and the Page of Swords in reverse again. Bottom of the deck, we have the Hermit again, Virgo energy. And under the Hermit, we have the 2 of Cups. Coming together, reconciliation, balance, union, situation being balanced and reflected back to one another. This is love, heart chakra energy, masculine, feminine energy coming together here. Harmony. Okay, so there's an inner understanding you have here with the Hermit, and I feel like you've already reflected, like we said. So there's a situation here that should have transformed a while ago, and we're keeping it sort of alive by not expressing or taking action on what we already know, what we've already uncovered because of our reasoning, whatever we're telling ourselves why we cannot. Okay, we might not want to see things get worse. We might fear the 5 Pentacles, whatever the reasoning is. And Spirit is saying, you can stand for what you believe in here with the 7 of Wands. There's no need for you to give in to someone else here. You know, this is you standing your ground, communicating your truth, and you have the upper ground here. And I feel like this is what's going to restore balance to a situation that I feel is fairly unbalanced right now. It's fairly unbalanced because I feel like you're going to align with a greater sort of truth here with the Hierophant, supporting what you value, what you understand. You know, staying committed to your values and your understanding here to restore balance and justice and truth. And so whatever this situation is that you're involved with, I feel is 4 of Cups right now, because you're all tied up and you're seeing it what would not work or hasn't worked up until yet. This is the only way to free you from this, because I feel like you're feeling stuck here, like you can't move forward, you can't grow, expand, and create past this. And so Spirit is saying, communicate, take action on it, no matter how sort of painful it might be. It will be okay. This is the only way for you to sort of move forward, to expand, to grow, to create. Kind of get over yourself and the thing that you're telling yourself might go bad, you know, because I think you're not seeing a greater truth here and acting aligned with it because of maybe how someone else might not see it, how someone else might not fully buy into it right away. And it doesn't matter what someone else is going to, whether they're there or not. You're there. And so this transformation only happens when we speak the truth. This death, this shedding of the old, the shift, and the way to restore balance, the way for us to restore some sort of harmony here, a partnership, a reconciliation, come together, peaceful resolution is for us to do this. Okay, but we have to really put our money sort of where our mouth is here and support what it is that we really believe and value based on our own reflection and understanding here. Okay, so I think there's a need to restore some sort of balance and justice in a situation, which you do have the key here, and all you have to be is be authentic and truthful and honest, no matter how painful. And I think you've taken some time, quite some time, with the Judgment showing up twice, the Hermit, and this pause, to really reflect. And so the Spirit is saying, all the reflection you've done, you already have this deep knowing and understanding and an intuitive nudge to do the right thing. But you're in still reverse High Priestess, which is you doubting your intuition or not seeing it so much. So you've, I don't know, telling yourself that you can't see how it's going to resolve, or but meanwhile all signs are pointing to you already truly understanding this. Okay, so trust in your ability to get unstuck, to empower yourself. As long as it's coming from a loving, open sort of place here, then things will unfold. Things will have to transform. Things will have to shift in a way that I feel is for your benefit. But don't give up on yourself. Okay? Pile number 2, this is your reading, your message, and I will see you at the next one. Bye-bye. Hello, hello. Beautiful. Pile number 3. You guys picked the 6 of staves or staves. Not quite sure how to pronounce it. This is 6 wands. And the electric guitar. And before we get into this energy, what is this reading about? Well, we're asking Spirit for exact steps and guidance, how to navigate your existing situation, challenging circumstance that you're feeling either stuck or you're not quite sure which way to go, what you're supposed to do exactly, and how you're supposed to do it. So hopefully we can get some understanding here as how to navigate. We won't get into so much the challenge itself. Okay, now if you're not experiencing a challenge or feeling stuck by some sort of situation, then this most likely isn't your reading. Like I mentioned, this is for those of you guys who are genuinely in some sort of situation here that you feel has you feeling kind of stuck. Okay, so use your intuition over mine, what you will see, feel, or hear to determine whether the messaging is right. The best way to do this is to sit through the card layout as I lay these cards out and tap into your intuition. Now, your pile got a lot of cards here, okay? So I'm hoping I can get through this quite quickly. But one thing I was feeling when I was laying out your cards was there's a lot of ways this can go, and they're all sort of right. Like, there's victory nonetheless any which way. So that's a relief, because I feel like maybe there's a lot of different things you can do, and maybe that's the thing. You're not quite sure which way you're supposed to do it or which would be the best outcome. So that could be a potential thing, but what I'm really feeling is that there is so many ways that this could go, or that you could be, or that you could do, and of all these things, it's still going to end up being victorious. Okay, because 6 of Wands is the victory card. It's doing the lap of victory. It's us sort of being appreciated, acknowledged. It's also us being in the public eye. You know, it's us getting recognition. It sometimes is short-lived energy, though, you know, like winning the immediate battle, but maybe not necessarily winning the war so much here, you know. And the 6 of Wands to me is also my ego card, you know, or us being concerned how others might perceive us, or how we might look, or how things might turn out. And then we have the electric guitar. And so I haven't pulled this charm, but it could be a literal sort of confirmation here. If you guys do play guitar in a band, then that could be just confirmation this is your reading. But I feel like when we get to musical instruments, it's sometimes pointing to our own sort of instrument rather than that in which we think others want us to be. So it's like beating to our own drum, making our own sort of song, being in our one-man band, that it shouldn't really matter what others think or see or perceive us to be, that the beautiful music we can make with our own electric guitar here doesn't depend on anyone else. We could still make a beautiful sort of song with just a guitar, with just ourselves, without anyone else, is kind of what I'm picking up. And so I'm kind of getting an energy of unpeace. I don't know how this is fitting in. Maybe we're feeling not at peace when we're being celebrated, or when we're going with what we're supposed to be doing, and when we're bucking the system and sort of doing our own thing, or we haven't quite got there yet. But because we're feeling a sense of unpeace or unpeacefulness, I guess, even though others might be appreciating us or seeing us in a different way, there's still a need for us to make our own song. Okay, let's take a look and see what else comes through here. So we have vanity. This is always my card of ego, what others think, how we're perceived. So now we got two sort of ego cards, and here's these people drinking. It feels like it's social. Social. Network of people, how we're perceived in the public eye. Groups of people. Ego. Forgiveness. The rhino, and then we have the little child. So children sometimes could literally represent the inner child, but it could be the early stages of learning something here. Forgiveness. And we have the assassin, ruthlessness and conviction. Okay. We have the skull, could be some Scorpio energy here. We have Earth Angel. Got two people here, Earth Angel. We have surrender to the wisdom of your body. Feeling ego energy again here. Listen to your body's message about a person or situation. If you feel physically drained or uncomfortable, be cautious. If you are energized and happy, move forward. Okay, we have building blocks, 28, or the number 10. We have victory. That's what this Six of Wands is all about. 28 twice back to back. So you might want to look up angel number 2828. But 28 is the number 10. And 10 is all about completion. And we're seeing the skull here, which is the death card in the tarot, which is the transformation and end of a cycle. There's also Wheel of Fortune, which came up for pile 2. So pile 2 could certainly be connected to your energy here. And then we have diligence. The clouds and this bird. Diligence. Okay, and then we have the blue temple, 54, or the number 9. I'm going to sneak this more over so we can fit all your cards, because you guys got quite a bit here. We have fertility, number 27, or the number 9 again. Yes. The frequency of fertility invites us to be more open, more courageous, more creative, and more joyful than we were before. It activates the potential for something beautiful to grow from our consciousness into a new and grander expression of ourselves. Expression of self, which comes with that playing our own sort of instrument. Look, she's playing this violin. The monster within. internal struggle, personal challenges, wanting to improve, 25, or the number 7. Wolf is all about us finding our own sort of independent autonomy here from others, sort of like a lone wolf doing its own thing, breaking out of the wolf pack. Okay. Memories. Your memories are like diamonds in the treasure chest of your spirit. More and more memories are arising within you. Remember the happier moments with your loved ones who are here in spirit world, for neither time nor distance can stop the energy of love that you have for one another. Wow. Can you guys see here? Yes. We have new vision, number 12. 12 is giving me the hangman, especially with new vision, a new way to see things here. Pisces energy. And we have heal, heart, and spirit. The purple and green intertwined. Green is the heart chakra. Purple is the intuitive energy. Could be the third eye or the crown chakra. Heal, heart, and spirit. Yes. We have songbird. Objectification, yearning, and feeling trapped. I was kind of feeling that, you know. I was feeling like no matter what others are seeing you or what's happening here, it's like there's an unpeace, is what I was feeling. You feel trapped. You feel trapped here. Something more you're wanting here, more aligned with our authentic being. Whale spirit, trust the great mystery, 65, or the number 11. 11 is a master number. It's about divine inspiration, synchronicities, and the encouragement to keep going within the next few weeks coming out. Isn't that interesting? Okay, in the next few weeks. And listen to your intuition. Wow. Family, friends, and guides with spirit. So spirit coming through again, number 6. Family, friends, and guides could certainly be showing up here as the energy that's around you. The orphan, number 5. And here we have the snake, all about healing. Orphan can be feelings of abandonment here. We have the desert, 37. This could be us feeling very alone, no matter how many people are sort of around us here. And we have a line. You're being asked to align with your current situation, even if it's not easy to do so. Trust that there is much to be learned by being here. Pushing against what is will only make things harder on you. Align, surrender, trust. And fortune's wheel, luck and right timing. So wheel of fortune coming through here, which I do believe was pile number 2. Was it pile number 2, you guys? Let's see. Yes, pile number 2 might be connected here again. Okay, so wheel of fortune, divine timing, fated things happening. Number 23 or the number 5. Let me make sure you can see. Okay, so let me just sit with this for a little bit. Okay. It's a difficult time for you. You do feel really sort of stuck here. And I don't think anything or anyone could present itself right now that's going to pull you out of this. Okay? And this isn't to make you feel more stuck. This is to liberate you, to understand that freedom is coming. liberation is coming. In fact, I feel is very close here, okay, within these next few weeks. But I do feel like things will start to soften up here. But this is a much needed sort of process here, in which I feel people, situations just don't impact you the same way they might have in the past. And so I feel like you feel very alone, like you can't really connect to others. And so things that you might have enjoyed, people you might have enjoyed, things you might have been able to sort of withstand here, are now not doing it for you. And I feel you feel very alone, you know, and you feel kind of abandoned by the people in your life, or maybe just the universe as a whole. And so Spirit is showing what you can do here is trust. Trust that this is happening in order for you to align to your spiritual self, to a self here that is more healed, that you connect to your heart and your spirit. And so we're healing a lot of parts within us that might have been blocked or challenged, connecting with our inner child, abandonment wounds, healing that is needing to take place, forgiveness of ourselves and people maybe in the past that have challenged us or have planted things within us that might have been fragmented energies, thoughts, things we've carried. And so I feel like you are being primed here to create something with this fertility. And in order for you to create this beautiful, abundant thing, you have to be in the right energy. And so Spirit is saying you will get there. It doesn't really matter so much the action you take right now that's going to make the victory happen. The victory will happen. You will create something here. What matters is what energy you're sitting in, because you can not enjoy this and resist and feel bad and fight and question and feel very dark, almost like a dark night of the soul. Or you can lean into your intuition and trust that this is happening for you to build a stable self that is solid, healed, ascended, in tune with Spirit. The new self, the new way of you seeing things is unfolding here. I don't think you'll ever go back to how you were, and I think you'll like it this way. Although this sounds to me like you're going through the void, which is when we are in a spiritual awakening and we experience ego death or dark night of the soul, and things start to fall away, such as people, places, things, and hobbies, and things that we involve ourselves with is no longer there. We don't know what our thing is, what our passion is, and so we feel very alone. So I feel like the ego is falling away. And the only discomfort we feel here is when we try to force ourselves back into our old world, to do things other people want us to do, to be who we thought we had to be in the past. And so there's a beautiful energy coming through of you singing your own song, even if it's just a one-man band for now. Because this beautiful song is the authentic truth. It's you beating to your own drum. It's your own music. It's this new vision of how you perceive the world is now driving sort of your new self. And so I feel like there's a need to trust the process of what's happening. This could impact you physically, mentally, spiritually. But I feel like once we're able to connect with the heart and the spirit, the more physical part, mental part, is sort of background noise. But if we're very resistant, we could start to have a lot of anxiety or panic when we start to hang on to the material world, the people that are right around us, the situation at face value. We start to feel very drained. Why don't I enjoy this anymore? What is wrong with me? What am I supposed to do exactly? How can I move forward here in a different way? All of those questions I think we need to release and say, whatever is meant for me is going to unfold in front of me, but I'm building my new self that will align with the things here that are for me. But I have to trust in this process. And even though it might be awkward, because I've always given to this situation or the circumstance, or these people have always seen me in this light, I am no longer sort of that energy or need to do that thing for that person. And so we're very present, and we're not just acting out of old conscious programming, but every moment we're sort of aware of what we're doing and what we need to do in regards to our own energy, like, because you really don't need to do anything, but when we're very much regarding our own energy, we know whether we're resisting, whether we're on autopilot, whether we're doing something out of trying to fulfill someone else's sort of agenda here. Are we doing it out of ego? And so I feel like the more we sort of do things out of old programming to fulfill egoic desires or beliefs that we had in the past, the more unhappy we're going to be. The more challenging relationships are going to be in people and situations. So I feel like what's happening inside of you is something that can only be dealt with from within, that no one here can help pull you out. No situation here is going to align in the perfect way here that's going to reflect back to you a sort of peace. This peace, this happiness is going to come from within. When we reconcile the disjointed sort of self, which is the ego self, the spiritual self, connecting to heart self. And so we are being guided here, and that people will be supporting and around you. You will have the loving soul tribe and family around you. Your ancestors, people that love you, are either going to stand up and support you, or the people who no longer sort of suit your new energy are going to fall away. But either way, your soul tribe, your support, the right people aligned to what is supposed to happen here will come into balance and harmony. But you have to walk down this new path with this new understanding of who you are. But it needs to build first. And so Spirit is saying it's okay that we might not have the foundation yet to know which path we're going down. And I feel it is coming very quickly here for some of you guys. This is within a few weeks, because we need to build the building blocks of self. We need to write the song before we could play the song. We need to understand what the song is about, like our own song. And so we could put pressure on us that we have to spit out to this song. Okay, this is all an analogy, but this is like our authentic self. We have to know who our authentic self is and play that melody perfectly. And Spirit is saying, no, all we need to do right now is shed everyone else's song. Understand that we are being on the path of playing our own one-man band. As long as we recognize we're aligning with the one-man band, and this doesn't mean you have to be alone forever, but this is part of this journey. We have to learn to play this guitar perfectly in our own song, and then the right people join our band that add to it. They add to that genre of music. But if we go play this guitar in this band of other people that's, I don't know, maybe they're all playing harps, and it's, I don't know, some different sort of genre of music, and our electric guitar doesn't quite fit in. We can't force it anymore. And so we go play our own music, or we have the understanding that we are to play our own music first, the building blocks. And once we comprehend and are okay with that idea that we are no longer playing with that band or playing those harps, and playing our guitar with those harps, I should say. That's one step, one block. The next is we start to strum this guitar, and what feels good, what doesn't, and be comfortable with the sound of the own music we're making here. And eventually we have written a song, another block. And then eventually we get different sort of people coming, our soul tribe people that support us, that make the song even better, or that we can write different songs. But without us sort of learning it and playing and being confident in our own ability to do this, we would never sort of be able to play in that band. That's the other block. Okay, I don't know why so much band analogies coming through. You could certainly play music. Okay, music could be a big part of your healing and your therapy here. And so I feel like there's a heavy sadness. And so we could sit in sadness for some time and look at everything that's wrong. And I feel like this is what's happening, and it's okay. But I feel like if you really are here and you're listening to this message, understand where we're focused on what didn't work and what's sad and what's going away. Or we can be blessed and think everything that falls away isn't aligned anymore. And so there's a beautiful blessing that is more aligned to who I am that's coming in. And in order for it to come in, I have to make space here. And so there's a lot of healing that's happening, which is beautiful. And although it might be painful to experience this or sad to experience this, and it might feel like the universe is playing some horrible sort of joke, or that it's being ruthless, or there's only one way and I don't like the way that it's happening here, or I'm feeling very forced to part with things. We can look at it in a way and say there's a beautiful blessing that I'm supposed to birth, that I'm being primed here to give birth to something creative that is specifically unique to only what I can create. But in order for me to get there, I have to shed all the things here that are not me, that are no longer going to support me. And I am protected here, heavily protected. Okay, but I have to allow this shift to happen without resistance. Because if I resist, that's where the pain sits. And so my independent self is coming through here. The independent self that doesn't need validation, confirmation, the old groups of people, the old things I used to rely on in order for me to find my way. I could find my way on my own by trusting my intuition, by trusting in spirit, by listening to my intuition and knowing the difference. I don't need to feel like I'm being snuffed out or drowned out, or that nothing of abundance is coming to me, and that I'm going to just eventually just, drown here in the desert. Nothing's going to appeal to me. I'm going to be forever just in this sort of sadness or this depression, or nothing's going to be exciting again. Everything kind of sucks. And I'm not saying you have this negative, pessimistic energy, but I'm saying as we go through this ego death, it is very natural to not feel pulled by anything and completely lose the zest. And so this will turn. But it is all in divine timing, because as things align, things have to fall away in order for new things to happen. People have to fall away or shift to new energy vibration here in order for them to support you, for you to create the thing. It's all in divine timing. And it doesn't happen completely overnight. And so we could be very frustrated with the process, but we have to allow the universe to do its thing, to allow it to take as long as it does, to forgive any part of ourself that might be stuck in the past, that might have memories that are hurting us, that might be hanging on to judgments. If we do this or abandon these people or do that, then we're this, that, and the other. That's all ego. Trust the process. Okay, so Spirit, clear and concise message here for pile 3. What are they needing to know? What have I missed here in regards to this challenging situation and what they're supposed to do? So right here, I just am feeling you just don't resist. Allow the shift to happen. Don't hang on to the egoic stories of the past, the people of the past, and things that are around you that might have at one time sustained you. Allow those things to fall away. Detach, if you will, from those things, if it feels natural. Okay, so Spirit, what is it that pile number 3 is being guided to do step by step? Please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message. The 2 swords for the greatest and highest good of pile number 3. Did I call it pile 2? Pile 3. Wheel of Fortune coming out twice. Okay, things are turning for your favor. This is a divinely orchestrated lesson, if you will. Okay, the universe is taking the wheel here, which we might not be used to. But things are shifting, things are turning, things are divinely guided, all in divine timing. Blessings are coming with this Wheel of Fortune. Can we dive into this situation, Spirit? We have the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. We have the Queen of Swords in reverse, and we have the Page of Pentacles in reverse. Bottom of the deck, we have the Lovers, Gemini energy. We have the Three of Wands in reverse. Seven of Pentacles came out for all three piles. And I believe most likely in the exact same position. And we have the Queen of Wands. And under the Lovers, we have the King of Pentacles in reverse. Queen of Wands is Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. King of Pentacles is Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. Queen of Swords is Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Yeah, and Gemini. Okay. So, the Lovers. This is a choice right beside this Wheel of Fortune. It doesn't feel like a choice, and it's because the universe is aligning the path, the destined path, the option in front of us. You know, our path, our dharma, the path that we get to play our electric guitar, not the one where we're forced or coerced or trained or programmed to believe that we need to be in someone else's band, but to the actual path, the choice will become very clear to you. Okay, but things need to shift and turn, all in divine timing here for you to be at this sort of destined path. And so I feel like the manifestation hasn't happened yet. The creation thing hasn't happened yet. And so we're feeling kind of stuck, like we can't move forward. We can't create our world. We can't be excited about things with this Three of Wands in reverse. Like we feel like everything's fallen apart. Everything we've built, you know, with this King of Pentacles in reverse. We might have built an empire. We might have had a long-term job. We might have had a secure home. We might have built something here, and everything feels like it's falling apart or has fallen apart or cannot no longer explore that part. And so we could still be giving to that part of our world, feeling very frustrated, you know, and we don't have to keep investing. We don't have to keep watering the dead plant or the thing that isn't going to help us expand. It isn't towards the path that's pulling us to grow. And so some of you guys might be feeling stuck. Like, do I continue to give to this situation that's not expanding and growing and moving? And I already know this, but yet I remain continuing doing this, but I don't know what else I can do. And so we're in this Two Swords sort of energy. Or do I just sit here sort of in limbo? You know, Two Swords, Lovers. This is like at a crossroads here. And so Spirit is saying, allow yourself to know that it will take time for you to connect with a part of yourself that will develop that burning sort of passion, the ability to manifest again, to be pulled towards something. And it's okay to sit idle. It's okay to reflect. It's okay to not have to take action until we completely understand what's aligned with us and what isn't. So we don't have to keep giving and investing in something that is no longer going to move us to our, you know, our dharmic path or where we're supposed to go. And so you're being hauled here for a reason. And that's your passions and your ability to manifest and your drive to go after this will come. But right now the universe has the wheel, and this will happen in divine timing. So you're not seeing it. The manifestation is not happening. We are stuck here, not being able to have the new beginning. We can't see our way forward here. It's very unclear to us. Okay, and so we're incapable of moving towards anything right now with this Page of Pentacles in reverse. It's the same as this Ace of Pentacles. The seed, the manifestation, the new beginning, us exploring this opportunity. There's nothing here that we can see, that we can act on. It's not clear to us. And this is divinely orchestrated this way for a reason, because your path is being aligned. the person you're supposed to sort of align with, the journey you're supposed to go down. You're going to come to this. So if we don't see it just yet, it's okay. There's no need to rush. Then we sit and enjoy our own energy here. Okay, but we're being asked to identify, where are we giving that's not producing? Where are we giving that's not expansive? Where are we giving that's not helping us move forward? That's all we need to do, is just identify this. We don't have to pretend. We don't have to keep giving. We just identify, allow things to organically shift, and then we'll identify what it is we want, what it is we want to manifest, where we want to move, and let the security fall away. That is no longer the security for us. It's no longer our long-term security, because it's not providing any growth with the Three of Wands in reverse. It's no longer allowing us to move forward in life. It's keeping us stuck in the same job, with the same situation, with the same people. And we want to move forward. And the universe wants to help us move forward, but it's a process. So we're going to ask Spirit for a clear and concise message. Anything I've missed, any questions pile number 3 still has in regards to this messaging, Spirit. Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile 3. What are they still needing to know? Step-by-step process in regards to how to navigate this current challenging situation. So we have the Queen of Cups revealing itself. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Beautiful creative energy. This is listening to our intuition. Listen to your intuition. I feel like you're coming into balance with your intuition, being guided by your intuition, which is going to come in very strong once we silence the noise of other people, their expectations. Then we'll be able to know exactly where we're going. 10 of Wands. Yeah, it's getting too heavy to carry. Okay, it's too heavy to carry down the road we've been. And sometimes on our own is less heavy. So we might be feeling very heavy because we're walking down someone else's road. We're not listening to our intuition. And so we can't carry on like this no more. And we're about to sort of snap here. 8 of Wands in reverse and the Fool in reverse. Yeah, we can no longer go down the path we were going down. There's nothing left there to explore for us. So the universe has us halted here. There is a block here. There's no more movement here. And so naturally, if we're feeling stuck, incapable of moving forward, we start to get frustrated. But there's a good reason. This isn't the path. This isn't the lover's path for you. This isn't where you're supposed to be exploring. But also, Spirit is saying, allow yourself to be open to new exploration here, which will come to you through the Queen of Cups. But if we're too hung up and focused on doing things in the past, we're not trusting the universe to guide us through our intuition. We're trying to make the old story fit, the old narrative work. We're trying to be happy with what used to make us happy, or what used to keep us going in some way here, and it's no longer will fulfill us. It's become a burden here. King of Wands. So we saw Queen and King of Wands. So this is passionate energy in order to create and have the confidence to manifest what we want and go after what we want. It's that drive, that power, that confidence, because the King of Wands gets whatever he wants. He just has to take action. But I feel like we need to align our intuition to know what to drive towards, what to create. And here's the frustration. We don't know. And so this will come to us, but we need to silence the mind. We need to be open to the new vision of what our intuition is going to show us, and not keep focus on what's happened sort of in the past there. Wheel of Fortune again. Yes, so the universe is really in your face here. I've got the wheel, pile number 3. I'm guiding you. And this is happening all in divine timing. So you need to just listen to your intuition. When the universe puts in front of you something that you need to take action on, be in tune with your intuition. Act on your intuition. That's the only thing you're supposed to be acting on right now, is your intuition. Everything else in your world is falling away. So I think you just need to silence everything except for the intuition. Get balanced, align to this, and it will tell you when to move forward and when to take action, and you will confidently succeed this. But we have to identify what this is. Empress, abundance. Look at this. Fertility. It's pregnant. Okay, you're about to create something here. This is beautiful, abundant, divine feminine energy. Okay, this is also healing any sort of abandonment wounds we might have. Coming into our full self here. Knowing how to receive, give love, understand about unconditional love and abundance. And we have the Nine of Wands. So the Nine of Wands is the spiritual warrior who has gone through battle, who doesn't give up. So we have 9 Wands, 10 Wands. So I feel like you might want to give up, you know, and the feeling of giving up is Spirit's pushing you in a new direction here, and so it feels kind of uncomfortable. You might feel like you're giving up in an area that you're supposed to be sort of investing in, and Spirit saying, no, the reason why you feel like giving up in that area is because it's not aligned. You're being aligned. You're being aligned. So don't give up with that dream and hope. You're the spiritual warrior here that's going to get exactly what it is that is meant for you here. And you're going to create something beautiful here with fertility, okay? But this is sometimes just being guarded in a wall of protection here until it's time to move. And so I feel like we're supposed to sit, know that we're protected, not throw in the towel, be ready to take action on our intuition, and have the confidence to know we will be successful to create once things align, that the past is needing to sort of go away in order for the future to take hold. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, allow those feelings to sort of fall off with the understanding here that you're going to be successful, okay? Because like I said, anything you do here, you're going to find success. Because eventually you're going to move forward, but it's how we get there. Are we going to torture ourselves and go through with a whole bunch of resistance and make it unpleasant? Or are we going to work with the universe, that Wheel of Fortune we saw now 3 times? Work with the grain, or work towards the Wheel of Fortune, not against the grain. Okay, because when we work against the grain, we slow divine timing. We suffer for no reason. We're resisting. We're not allowing it to move naturally. So, final message. What is pile 3 needing to know? Final message, clear and concise message. Anything I've missed, anything that's going to make this very clear for pile 3. Final guidance, final message. Thank you so much, Spirit, for this beautiful message for pile 3. Virgo energy. Sitting with self, knowing what we truly want. We have to do the journeys, or the hermit's journey, which is all about going within, understanding what we truly want, so we can follow the guiding light, which in this case I feel is your intuition is going to guide you, but we need to reflect and really understand ourselves. And up until now, we might have been in someone else's world, living in some sort of egoic thing, really trying to fulfill some external thing, and now everything's shifting here, okay? So we're being isolated potentially for a reason here, or feeling isolated for a reason. Time to reflect, time to get honest. Look at the Empress again. You're being called to birth something here. This is coming into our own. The Empress is all the queens in one. She's able to create. She understands about abundance. She understands about unconditional love. She's healed. She knows boundaries, self-worth. So this is Libra, and I'm getting strong Venus here, okay? So Taurus, Libra energy, but Venus coming through, so that's like a beautiful loving energy with Venus. So you're connecting to your inner love. You're connecting to the inner child. You're connecting to your intuition so that you can create the thing. You're about to create something spectacular here, and I feel like the only way for you to create this, okay, the one-man band, again, that's the analogy. Only you can create this thing. This is your unique dharma with the lovers, your path here in this world, your purpose. You're creating it. Only you can create this, but you have to understand what this is, and this is going to take time for you to sit and reflect on this so that it could become authentic, so you can build this or naturally give birth to this thing. Because you're going to birth this thing. You're going to be successful in birthing this thing. But this thing has to be authentically you. It has to be authentically you. There's a magician. You're going to birth something here. You're bringing in from as above, so below, creating this manifestation. And in order to create the manifestation, we need all the tools available to us to create. So the energy has to be right. The energy has to be right. And if we don't know ourselves, or if we haven't sat long enough to identify or make right what this is, what are we going to manifest? So the divine timing is saying, wait for the intuition to guide you, because you are going to create and manifest as soon as everything sort of is aligned here. Aligned. So we have the Ace of Pentacles. This is that manifestation. So it's blocked, this new beginning, this new solid seed of a new creation here. Okay, the new life, the new thing that you're supposed to give birth to. The egg, I feel, is blocked here for a good reason, because I feel like we're needing to do the hermit's journey before we can manifest. Here's the 10 swords in reverse. So everything that needs to come to an end, no matter how painful, people, places, things, relationships, everything that no longer serves has to fall away. And I feel like we're still shedding. We still haven't detached. Okay, we're still hanging on. Maybe their pain's still there. We're still needing to heal. But I feel like there's experiences here of the past that we still have to let go of. Ideas, potentially, of what past people mean, or what things mean to us, or how we're supposed to be engaged. All this needs to fall away. Clean slate in order for the new manifestation to begin. Changing our perception to this new vision, how we see things completely new and different, will only happen when we shed the old. Ace of Cups, look at this, emotional new beginning. So now we have an Ace of Pentacles and an Ace of Cups. So once we allow the manifestation to happen, only after we shed what we need to and close out what we need to, let the things fall away, can we then have a beautiful new beginning here, where we'll feel emotionally full again. Okay, but this again is all about self-love, filling our own cup, feeling loved. And when we fill our own cup and we're feeling abundant in our own self-worth and value, then we can engage in the world and be healed. Healing with others, okay? We're never fully healed, but we can be more healed. And we can engage in a more healing sort of way. But this process takes time. Temperance in reverse. Yeah, we're not ready to engage in the world just yet, because the temperature has to be right. Our energy has to be right. Okay, so this comes through balancing our energy. This comes through reflection. This comes through asking questions. This comes from releasing past things and people that don't serve us. It's not the right time to manifest just yet. All the tools need to be available to us. Mindsets, situations, our understanding, our desire, our confidence. Okay, and so I feel like for some of you guys, this will start to turn, and I do feel in like within the next few weeks. But I feel like this period of time is one that's, instead of resenting or feeling stuck in, we're supposed to embrace this as a blessing. The time for reflection, the time to shed, the time to really align ourselves and know what we need to sort of let fall, that the universe has our back, that this is all happening for us, not to us. Okay, 8 of Cups. Yeah, walk away from the things here that aren't emotionally fulfilling. So this is your time. Okay, what makes me happy? And so the 8 plus the 1 is 9 cups. All about you. Am I happy playing with the harps here and these people? We could lie to self, or we could sit with a greater truth and say, I'd rather just, play this guitar than try to fit with a bunch of harps here. But what are we actually doing? Are we still staying in the exact situation, or are we finding our way to move out of that so we can get closer to our emotional happiness here? The right people, the right situations, things that actually make us feel happy and emotionally fulfilled. 6 of Cups. Look at that. 6 Cups is person, place, thing of the past that brings a lot of memories here. Our hometown, our roots, relationships. So I feel like there's a lot of reflecting on what's happened sort of in the past here, and a need for you to not let any past situations, circumstances sort of dictate what you're doing in the right here, right now. Release anything that needs to go. But I feel like anything here that is meant to stay for you will evolve and shift here. because this is my soulmates card here. So we might have a difficult time with certain people, and soulmates could be anything from, you know, our parents or siblings or friends or lovers or co-workers. And I feel like there's a strong tie here, you know, and it might make things difficult for us. But know that these relationships shift and change. Okay, but don't let the past sort of dictate where you're headed, because I feel like you have to still support what emotionally makes you happy here, not what maybe used to make you happy or a memory of what it used to be. Because if we're sticking to the memory of how it used to make us feel, then we're not living in the present moment. We're sort of living on past memories of how we think we're supposed to feel about it today. And as everything, things shift, but we have to really sit and reflect here with this greater truth. And 10 of Pentacles, yeah, like the family situation, the career, the stable thing, the structure we've built, you know, we're tied to it because we have memories about it. We've spent our whole lifetime potentially building it. So we're really tied to it, you know, and so it's difficult to let the 10 Pentacles fall. And so this is going to take some time for us to understand what areas need to really be detached from here that don't fulfill us today, so we can fill our own cup and move forward. Look at the sun in reverse. Yeah, we're taking the time to really see, okay, with the sun. We have to really be clear about this, because the universe is giving you all the time for you to reflect. And this is also my card of enlightenment, okay? So I feel like you're getting enlightened. You're connecting to your authentic self with truth, clarity, and honesty. Happiness is coming. You will see the sun. And although we feel like we're in the darkness right now, it's because we're given the space to get clear, to take the time to reflect, to get very certain about what provides us happiness and what doesn't. Even if it's going to impact sort of the world of the past here, the past is the past and remains a memory and an experience. But our existing sort of present moment, we need to deal with. And so I feel like there's a shedding of the ego, okay? Ego card, the ego card, the ego card. And so as we shed the ego, we go through dark night of the soul. We go through a lot of sort of discomfort here, because we're not quite sure who we're supposed to let go of or what, or, you know, but I feel like it's all for a good reason here. It's all to make you very clear, so you can be at a crossroads and choose your path that's really aligned with who you are and what you're about here. And Page of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah, it's like we can't manifest the new thing here to water or chase up on it until we are very clear here with the universe about our passions, what we're supposed to create. The sun is source energy, father energy, fertility here. Okay, so I feel like you're going to create something. We don't see it just yet, and we have to sit in this energy so it becomes apparently clear. Listen to our intuition, and don't start to listen to the memories and the things of the past here to dictate. Okay, no matter how long it's taken and how stable and secure it might feel, does it make you happy? Is it supporting an ego? Okay, all questions we're supposed to ask. Pile number 3. This is your reading. I hope this helped you guys. I love you very much. This doesn't sound easy at all, but it is a much needed process here in order for us to get enlightened, for us to evolve, for us to ascend, for us to become emotionally happy. Okay, we don't have to force ourselves to play in someone else's band just because of how we look here. Okay, I love you very much, and I'll see you at the next one. Bye-bye.